Hey guys, Jinskir, and today I'm gonna make a 2v2 tier list. I did a one for 3v3 that it was more specific to comps. Now I'm gonna touch all the specs. And yeah, keep in mind one thing I love about TBC is that this is only about season 1, so in season 2 this list change, in season 3 it changes a little bit, and in season 4 I think it changes a lot. So keep in mind that is only for season 1. So you have some stuff like Pomp Pyro Mages that will be better in season 1 than in season 4, right? So this is the beautiful thing about resilience, or at least it's what I think it's actually beautiful about resilience and the PvP stat resilience. It's just as the season progresses or as the expansion progresses, you will start to see some meta shifts. Obviously, you can't really meta shift a lot. The meta won't shift that much because you only have like a few classes. It's not like live where you have monks and DKs and DHs. So you have actually three less classes. Um, but um, but yeah, it just shows how actually some small thing like resilience actually changes the game and changes the meta without Blizzard having to do changes, which I love. I think we miss resilience in life, and yeah. Before I start, I just want to say a little one thing. I was making a video for 9.1 for the 9.1 changes, and I just stopped because I really don't care. They added 40 renown levels, even if the changes were amazing, which I don't think they are, especially for Affliction Warlock. But even if the changes were amazing, uh, the 40 renown levels and the more chapters to the campaign just kill it for me. So whenever TBC comes, I'm just gonna uninstall the live game because it's just bad. Of all the changes, there are three good changes in my opinion, which are the Ignite and Frostbolt buffs. I think sustained damage buffs are always good, and the how is it called, the PvP item level increase in PvP. I think that's something people have been asking for quite a bit, and that's it. All of the rest is like Mistweavers are gonna be OP, okay? If they have mana to heal, which is gonna be the next problem. But Affliction Warlock is dead, completely dead in the water. And they buff Destro. At this point, I truly believe, and I don't mean it like to be mean to the devs or anything, but I truly believe that Blizzard doesn't have an idea what to do with Affliction, so they just in PvP, so they just keep killing it in PvP and keep buffing Destro because Destro it's easier to balance than Affliction, which kind of shows the mentality of these devs. Instead of trying to make the spec fun and good, they just kill it over and over again. It happened in Legion, it happened in BFA, and it's now happening in Shadowlands. So yeah, but we don't care about 9.1 anymore, so let's do the tier list. So keep in mind, before I start, all of these specs are rank gladiator viable, so don't really worry too much. But because of the resilience, the specs will get better and some will get slightly worse over the seasons. So keep in mind it's season 1. And let's start with Feral. I would say Feral, it's at in the first season it's around B. Now this is only for 2v2, and Feral Rogue it's pretty good, and most the double DPS are pretty good in season 1. But the problem with Feral is I think they need something from season 2 to be better. And even though people don't really have resilience, Feral lacks a lot of burst in TBC and a lot of they lack kind of a kick. You can kick in bear form, but yeah, Feral in my opinion is B tier. Sub Rogue it's S tier without a doubt. I think rogues are the only class that just keeps on being S tier throughout the expansion. It's actually pretty good class, pretty good spec, and Subrog is really good in season 1 because of the lack of resilience. Arms Warrior. Now, Arms Warrior in season 1, I would say it's a little bit better than, for example, in season 2. So I will put it in S tier, but behind sub, because people don't have as much resilience, so your Mortal Strike is gonna hurt a lot. And since you do more damage, you kind of gain more rage in season 1. So yeah, I think Arms Warrior it's a pretty good spec for 2v2 in season 1. Now, Deep Balance, it kind of, I would say it's C tier, it's worse than Feral for sure, and it doesn't really, it has armor in Boomkin form, but the lack of resilience, they just die. They kind of just die and they can't really out heal it without being burned out in mana. Now, Dream State, this is the Rest of Druid balance, which is really good with the Rogue. With anything else, it's not as good. And I think they kind of need some gear for this spec to be kind of worth it. I would put it at A tier, even though in season 3 and season 4, especially season 4, it's pretty much an S tier spec with sub. But I'm gonna put it at A tier. Elemental. Now, Elemental, I would say, even in 2s, it's a little bit better than Feral in season 1 because it has a lot of burst. So I can see some comps with Elemental being really strong, but mostly double DPS comps, right? Um, and I see Elemental being a bit stronger than Feral because they have kick, they have grounding, and yeah, I would put it season in B tier. Enhancement, enhancement, I would put it in. Let's see, this is actually hard. Since it's 2v2, I'm gonna put it in C. Because the difference between a LA and enhancement is that the LA has a lot of burst, like instant burst, but then they don't really have that much damage. Enhancement doesn't really have that much burst unless it's Wind Fury, and without any resilience, they kind of just die. For example, if an enhancement faces an Arms Warrior and the Arms Warrior goes on him, he can't really do anything because he doesn't have any resilience. I'm gonna put it as C tier, but very close to Feral, I would say. Felguard, Felguard Warlock. I'm gonna put it as C, and the reason why it's because it's 2v2 and you can kill the pet. Especially if it's a Felguard, you just kill the pet and the Warlock doesn't have that much damage. But Felguard spec it's better in season 1 than pretty much the others. In any other season, I think in 2v2 Felguard it's like D tier, but here it's kind of okay-ish because of lack of resilience and the Felguard does a lot of damage. Frost Mage. Frost Mage needs to be S tier, and it's gonna be S tier in 2v2 throughout all of the seasons. But in season 1 is incredibly strong because it plays with the sub rogue, so in twos. And it's just incredibly strong because it has a lot of burst, and without resilience, the burst is it's noticeable. Holy Priest, yeah, it's D tier, not much to talk about. Holy Priest in TBC wasn't that good. Um, it was good in dungeons, but it wasn't really the healer spec for priests. Hunter, this is an incredible spec, uh, but it not really. Oh no, not here, but not really in season 1. In season 1, you want to be another spec as a hunter, but starts to gain a lot of value in season 2 and season 3, where there's more resilience. In season 1, you just die to double DPS kind of, and it's really hard to play Hunter in season 1, I would say. Mutilate. This is hard. Like, I'm gonna put it above this too, but I don't know. Because mutilating TBC requires you to be behind the target, which means that you will only really mutilate in the kidney shot. And the problem with mutilate is you don't have a step, so it's pretty hard to reach someone, but I'm gonna put it here. Okay, Disc Priest, S tier for sure. In season 1, I think it's when Disc Priest it's the best healer by quite a bit because of shields, because of purge, and I think it. I see people in the private server saying like most comps with disc in twos are gonna be really good, like disc sub better than rogue, resto druid, but I think they are wrong. I think they don't really have that many good resto druids, and resto druid it's harder to play than disc priest, but yeah, season 1 for sure, disc priest it's the best healer. Now Pompyro. This depends, right? Okay, let's say it's the start of season 1, Pompyro. It's just amazing, no resilience. But by the end of season 1, I would say it's A tier. People usually say it's better than Frost. I can't believe it is because of the control and the burst Frost has within the shatter. Pompyro, it's like you do it once and it ends. So, and after that you just die because you don't really have good shields. You have a mana shield and that's it. So I'm gonna put it as A tier, but at the start, okay, for me it's like at the start, Pompyro, the first few weeks it's gonna be insane. Then it's just gonna be like really good, but not really as insane. But if you're a mage, you must be thinking about going Pompyro the first few weeks because Pompyro it's really good in the first few weeks of the season. But then swap to Frost, it's just better overall. Resto Shaman season 1. I would say it's around B tier because you don't really have resilience, but at the same time you do have since you have less resilience, and if you play like with a warrior, you can win a lot of games just on Wind Fury procs. But I would say it's B tier. Resto Druid, it's okay. This is my problem here because I think Resto Shaman at the very start it's better than Resto Druid, but in the end of season 1, Resto Druid already picks up because of resilience. It's kind of like Pompyro, so I'm gonna take it as the end of the season. And Resto Druid it's better than Resto Shaman. Dream State actually just goes behind Resto Shaman. My bad here. It's not as good. And Resto Druid in the end of the season is already being good, but it's not as good as Disc by the end of the season still because you don't have enough resilience. Ret. This is actually really hard because, for example, Ret it's another that it gets better once they get armor penetration, but that's only really like season 4. So at this point, I would say Ret it's worse than Hunter for sure, and Mutilate Rogue, just because without resilience you just kind of die. But as the season progresses and by the end of season 4, Ret it's really good in 2v2. SLSL Warlock. Yes, I've put it behind because in season 1 you don't really have the resilience to to be that durable. Okay, when SLSL starts to really pick up, it's in season 2. By the end of season 2, beginning of season 3, it's when SLSL starts to be really strong and starts to scale out of control with resilience. Now, it might be better than Pomp Pyro for sure, and I don't think it's better than Resto Druid. But for sure it's not better than Arms Warrior or Thug or even Frost Mages. The thing about Resilience kind of is it reduces the critical strike damage, right? And reduces the dot damage. So for example, SLSL, it's gonna be doing a lot of damage in Season 1, but it's not gonna soak as much damage, and it's gonna soak some damage, but I don't know, for example, if an Arms Warrior just destroys an SLSL Warlock in Season 1, because in Season 1 I didn't really play SLSL, I played UA, and yeah, I don't know about this one actually. Maybe it's S tier, let's put it as S tier. Okay, it's S tier. By the end, it's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be good as Arms. I think it's a really fuck it. I'm gonna put it as A tier actually. Yeah, A tier. Shadow Priest. It kind of suffers the same thing as SLSL, where it does a lot of damage, but no way it's better than Pomp Pyro. I'm gonna put Shadow Priest here. I think in Season 2 and Season 3 Shadow Priest picks up a little bit, but by the end of Season 4 Shadow Priest it's pretty good, but people have so much resilience. I would say SLSL it's better than Shadow Priest for sure. But yeah. BM Hunter. Yeah, S tier. BM Hunter, it's absolutely nuts in Season 1. It's just the patch just does too much damage for the resilience you have. It's just that. It's nothing else. You don't have resilience, good resilience, and BM Hunter with the Disc Priest or BM Hunter with the Resto Druid is just gonna be insane. Now there's actually no Holy Paladin here for some reason, and I'm gonna put Holy Paladin in Season 1 in A tier. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I think even above Resto Druid. I might be insane, but I don't think I am. UA Warlock. I would say in 2v2 it's for sure, nah, it's not even this. In 2v2 it's for sure C tier because you just die. You don't have enough resilience and you just die. In 3v3 though, it's S tier, and it's actually funny if you play Shadowplay and you play UA Warlock in Season 1. In 3v3 it's actually an S tier because it does so much damage due to the lack of resilience that it's actually pretty nuts in 3v3. In 2v2 no, in 2v2 you just get stunned and you get kind of killed, right? So especially at the start, at the end of Season 1 it gets better. Survival Hunter it's kind of the same as I would say MM. I would say it's kind of the same. The Hunter specs are pretty close. Now the BM spec is just insane. But yeah guys, this is my tier list. I think some here are really hard to kind of rank just because, for example, I don't remember any Dream State druids back in Season 1 because Dream State only really appeared and only really started to pick up in Season 3, and especially in Season 4 everyone was Dream State with a rogue, so it's kind of hard to rank it. The same with Deep Balance and Felguard. It's actually easy to rank it because I played against it, but and I rank it as C tier because I'm a Warlock, obviously, so I can just banish it. And yeah, but the rest of them, I think SLSL, it's also really hard to rank because SLSL only really appeared in Season 2. In my battle group at least, and it's really hard to rank, but yeah, I don't think it's S tier in Season 1. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Peace.